Welcome to another episode of Up Close and Personal with Angela on behalf of Aspiring Authors Magazine. I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight to support the 122 authors from around the world movement. I am super excited to be able to share yet another amazing author with you guys on tonight. So if you would, please take this opportunity to share this in your circle of influence. Share this with someone. For those that do not know who I am affectionately known in these social media streets as the queen of collaboration, Angela Thomas. I am the founder of AALAC, which is the African American Author Literacy Awareness Campaign. I am also the CEO of Aspiring Authors Magazine, where my desire is to bridge the gap between brown authors all over this world and to touch on topics that's affecting my brown community, those things that people don't want to talk about that's affecting my community. So tonight, I'm super excited to have yet this amazing author. She is from South Carolina. Those that follow me know that this is my home state, and I am truly excited to be able to share with you guys this amazing queen on tonight and the opportunity for her to share her brand and what her message is and her why on tonight. So without further ado, I'm going to move out the way and allow Miss Tracy to come up and introduce herself.
Have had an amazing day on today. My name is Tracy Smalls, as Angela Thomas just stated, and I appreciate you so much for having me be a part of this. It's truly a blessing. So I appreciate you. Thank you. Before I go any further, I'm an author. I'm also a certified life coach. This is what I do, but who I am is just a woman who I believe that God is using me at a time such as this, from everything that I've went through from now until this moment. God is using me as a vessel. I'm the salt of the earth. Folks are supposed to be able to thirst after me. So hey, I use whatever I've went through, whatever the enemy had designed and planned for me. I'm using it for the glory of God right now to help others.
Amen. Well, I thank you. I thank you for allowing your voice to speak, because so many times, a lot of us, we experience things and we go through things and we just sit in silence and we do not share it. And that we overcame may be that very thing that is needed to help someone else overcome. So I'm excited to have you here tonight. As I mentioned earlier, you are an author from South Carolina. Um, South Carolina is near and dear to my heart because born, raised there, and it always have a piece of my heart. So I'm just excited that you're here. I
Yeah.
want you to share what this journey to authorhood has been like for you.
Um, it has been amazing. First off, let's just start off by saying I never thought I'd be writing one book, let alone three books, and working on number four. But it's amazing. It's just amazing how your life could just be transformed. Writing became therapeutic for me because of the things that I've went through. I would just start jotting down things, and after a while, the Lord said, "Write a book," and I'm like, "What? Write a book?" I don't know anything about writing a book. So literally, I began Googling information. I began pulling information from this person, that person, and it all just came into fruition for me. Just as simple as I'm just saying it, that's exactly how it happened. But more importantly, as you know, unless you're a big time celebrity, you don't see the benefits from it right away financially. So you have to have a heart for it first. You have to have a heart for people. So I'm allowing whatever God has designated for me to do right now in writing these books. That's what I'm doing. Because to be truthful, it ain't like I'm a millionaire from it. So apparently there's something about it that I enjoy doing, and that's just writing and sharing. In fact, I was just in the grocery store Sunday, and a woman stopped me and she says, have you written any other books? Are you going to write any more books? And I'm like, I didn't even realize she had the first one. But not only did she have book number one, she had book number one, two, and three. So it's like, I enjoyed your book. So that pushes me. That's what drives me.
Wow. I mean, it's nothing like being able to share your voice and being able to touch somebody else's lives because like I say, you didn't realize that she was reading your books, was picking up your books, but I'm sure she picked up that book and she saw a part of her life inside of that book. And just imagine how many other
Hmm.
people that this book um,
Exactly.
could reach. And the fact that you
Hmm.
stepped out on faith, it took transparency. The fact that you was willing to share. A lot of us we go through stuff and we put up that wall. We don't want to share. We don't want people in our business. We don't want people,
Hmm.
knowing too much. So the fact that you was transparent enough to not just one book but four books to share your world with the world, that takes
Yes,
a special person. It takes a special person with a special heart. And I
I
definitely
appreciate
see
that.
that you have a heart for God's people. Um, Definitely, you are a life coach, and that
Yes,
definitely takes having a heart for God's people because you could hear all types of things as a
it's
life coach.
true.
So I
Hmm.
tell you, your faith has to be strong, and just coming in contact with you, I know that you're a very spiritual woman. I want to know what this journey as a life coach has been like, and what made you decide to go into life coaching, and how it's like three part. This is gonna be like a three-part question now, and the last part of that question is how has your life coaching really tied in to being an author?
Well, what got me into life coaching, again, this isn't something that I thought I'd ever be doing. But to be quite honest and frank with you, when you're sharing information with a sister or a brother with something that you may have already experienced and you're sharing information to help them, you're coaching them. So I figured, if I'm doing it, why not just go ahead, take the class, and have the title behind it as well so that people would trust me more? It was essentially more of a trust mechanism for me because I was already doing it. Women were calling me from left to right, particularly when I wrote my second book, Breaking the Chains of a Narcissist. I mean, it was like folks were reaching out to me from all over the place. So that's essentially what got me into life coaching, just knowing that I was doing it anyway. But why not just go ahead and get educated in it, gain more information so that I would be more in tune with how I should be introducing myself to people, how should I be expressing myself to them, listening to them, all of these wonderful things that they taught me in the coaching class. I'm like, well, I didn't know that. I didn't know this. So it just kind of allowed me to educate myself a little bit more by taking the class. And then, of course, my sister, she's also a certified life coach. She's also a doctor in psychology. So I'm like, okay, I think I could kind of follow big sister a little bit here now. Let's just keep this family thing going. So that's what got me into life coaching and tying it into the book, particularly book number one, Overcoming Destructive Relationships. That book was written after being married to my first husband. And once again, writing became extremely therapeutic for me. I literally sit down when I'm angry and I'm just writing and I'm writing and I'm writing. And then eventually the book came into fruition. So dealing with what I've went through in my marriage and coaching, particularly when I'm talking to women about relationships, I was able to kind of speak on things that I know from experience to help them, and then just gathering information from other people as well. I'm a firm believer in constantly gaining knowledge from myself in anything that I'm doing. I'm not the most brilliant writer, so it's like, okay, let me read what she's doing. Let me see what he's doing, educating myself just so that I would be able to impact their lives as strongly as I possibly can. So, helping dealing with it. One woman just recently, she says, well, because I told her, I said, I think you may need a therapist. And she says, well, I have a therapist, but my therapist was not married to a narcissistic man like you were. And so to hear you just answering the one question that I asked, she's like, you've helped me out tremendously already. How can I be a part of what you're doing? Help me. So all of that, I mean, it just connects.
Wow. Now that's amazing. And then like sometimes we have these therapists, but then sometimes your therapist will recommend that you get a life coach and
That's right.
or a mentor, because sometimes a therapist cannot do for you what a life coach or a mentor can do. It take it
Exactly.
like get down on that level that need, like sometimes you
Hmm.
have to go deep. And sometimes a
Oh, yeah.
therapist can't go to that level with you. It
Hmm.
takes because sometimes it's a spiritual level, and sometimes it needs that coach to be able to go to that spiritual level
Hmm.
with you, because with that in the workplace they don't want you to mix religion and that's why I love being a life coach, because being a life coach, you work for yourself. So if
Oh,
you
yeah.
want to mix religion in, you can mix religion in.
It's true.
Yeah,
And,
please,
and then
if
I
you
also
would.
like to, also like to, sometimes I like using the word mentor because as a life coach, you don't necessarily, you want to hear the plans of this individual, your client. You want to hear where they want to go and you want to help them facilitate that. Whereas a mentor, you're basically telling them, listen, this is what I've done to get me from point A to point B, C, and so forth and so on. Whereas a life coach, you kind of want to hear where they want to go and try to give them some tools to use to get them to where they need to be. So for me, mentoring is important and it's imperative as well. Now, I could share with them how it helped me, but you know that everyone's path may not be the same, but you could give them different strategies, one of which you've used for yourself, along with other strategies to help them get to where they need to be. So I like considering myself a mentor as well.
So if individuals want to support the things that you are doing and follow you, how can they reach out and follow you?
Okay, they could actually email me. The email address is healthymind for real at gmail.com. I'm big on living that healthy mind, joyful life. So it's healthy mind, the number four, and then real at gmail.com. They can also follow me on social media. YouTube, they can subscribe to my YouTube channel. There are videos out there. It's under Tracy Smalls. And then, of course, they could also follow me on Facebook, Healthy Mind, Joyful Life, or just simply my other page, Tracy Smalls. um, so I have those now. YouTube, you may see me doing a little silliness because I like to show people there's a serious side to Tracy, but then there's also that side where Tracy lives and she enjoys life. So if you see me dancing or cooking or doing something on YouTube, just know that I'm a woman who's enjoying life. God gave me the second chance to enjoy life, and that's what I'm going to do. You're looking at a woman who years ago had attempted to kill herself. But by the grace of God, I am still here. So I'm going to show people I'm happy.
Wow. And I tell you, it is nothing like today. I got a notification that my suicide awareness book. I have a suicide awareness book. I am also a suicide attempt survivor. But my
Wow.
suicide awareness book was added to Smashwords, which is a platform through from draft to digital. I don't know if you're familiar with Hoopla, but Hoopla is one of the largest platforms that the library uses. And anybody that has a library card can check your book out. Well, just got notification that about four of my books was uploaded to that, and it was my suicide awareness book that was having issues. Like they are so strict when it comes to like suicide awareness and domestic violence. The wording, I mean, the least little thing in your title could keep it from being uploaded. So to get that notification today that it was up finally, I mean, because I published this book back
Wow.
in 2020. It was 2020 when I published this book. Now 2 years later, it finally get published through. Like it finally get through
Wow.
this platform. They finally upload. They finally okayed it to be up on this platform. It took 2 years.
Wow. That is a
Um,
blessing.
so and it just reminded me when you said suicide awareness, because I am a suicide awareness advocate. I tell you, we have a lot in common. I thank you um, for pressing and for being on this journey and for joining this movement. Um, because we
Yes.
definitely we need more people in this area. South Carolina, we rank number, we rank between number one and number five in domestic violence every single year.
Oh
We
my.
we we stay in the top five. We stay in the top five, and
Wow. And it's
we rank
horrible because you don't hear it on the news. It's
and
horrible.
we
Wow.
and we rank number 50 in education. I think we have moved to number 45 now. But in 2016, and this was my why. This is why I started doing what I'm doing now. I was working with 30 young babies, and I wasn't even an author yet. Um, but the statistics was at that time we were number one in domestic violence, and at that time I was a domestic violence survivor. I was walking with a cane. We were number
Mm.
50 in education. And these babies told me that they wanted to do something different. They didn't want a normal summer school. That they wanted to do something different. Um, that summer, I became an author. We did things that, I mean, we went places, we saw things, we had people come. People were coming to the program from all over. They was coming from Texas, they was coming from Tennessee, they was coming from North Carolina, they was coming from all walks of life. Had a young lady that came from Atlanta. She had just gave birth to her baby, and she had her baby strapped over her stomach, and she was teaching my babies about vision boards.
Wow. Mm. Mm, mm, mm.
And that's why I'm here. That's what kept
Wow.
me on this journey. That what made me say, Angela, you cannot sit down, you cannot be quiet. You have to make a difference, and somebody have to hear your story, and for the longest I did not share my domestic violence story. Like people, they hear me say that I was in domestic violence, but
Wow.
they never knew that my domestic violence was. I almost didn't survive. I almost didn't make it, and then I went back. After going through all of that, I went back. You know, people never heard that part of the story, but yeah, I'm
Mm.
finally beginning to tell my story because people need to hear it,
Oh,
and people need to
absolutely.
hear, the things that we go through. So I applaud you for your four books and sharing and being transparent. I'm excited that you are a part of this movement, that you will be out here with us and
Yes.
sharing. Um, so please, what is the one thing that you want those that follow this platform to know about Miss Tracy? What is your message to the world? What do you want them to get?
My message to the world is simply just improving the lives of others. I don't believe that I've went through all of the many things that I've gone through, um, just to say that, oh, it happened. It's life. Life happens. I believe that anything, whether it's good or bad, God can use it for his glory. Even the things that we've been through that it doesn't feel so good. He didn't tell us we weren't going to have trouble. He never told us we would never have trouble. But what do you do with it? So I chose to take it, run with it, and help someone else. And that's, to me, that's success greater than a billionaire to me. The fact that I am able to stop that woman from going back to that man who's physically abusing her, or I'm able to help that woman who may think that she's at the end of her ropes and don't even want to be here anymore. That to me is worth more than gold.
Um, and that is amazing. It has nothing like knowing that there's someone out there that cares about you and don't even know you, but truly cares and wants to see you prosper. I tell you, I going when I was going through my domestic violence, just to hear those words that you just said, that would have made my day. So I just thank you for being transparent, stopping by tonight, being a part of this
Thank
movement.
you for having
Um,
me.
it's just amazing because there's so much work to be done. I was just
Oh,
sharing
yeah.
with the young lady that was on before you. I had an interview before you, but the young lady that was on before you, we were talking about how many people she was wanting to be a part of her anthology. She's doing an anthology. She's wanting 365 people to join her anthology, and we was just like that. It seemed like it may be a lot to some people, but to think that she's already done three anthologies that had 90 people in it each, and each one of them had 90 different people in it. So that's 270 different people already. You know what I'm saying? She's
Wow.
already impacted 270 people's lives already. Now she wants to do one for
Wow.
365, and people are like, that's a lot. But it's not really if you think about the amount of people that's in this world. It's billions of people in this world. That's not even a
That's
tenth.
right.
It's not even a tenth.
That's right.
Not even a tenth. So I told her
Mm-hmm.
I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged. I hope that she get the 365. I'm gonna be looking for that book. You said you was working on another book. Are you working on an
Yes,
anthology?
actually, my life coach said, Tracy, you don't think you need to pause on this book for just a second, just so that you could get some other things taken care of? Because I know you jump into this and boy, you have a lot going on. You don't want to burn yourself out. So I'm like, okay, that does make a little bit of sense, because when I get it in my head, I want to go at it full force. So hopefully sometime in around February, it'll be ready. The book Women of Many Faces. I'm excited about that book. I just decided to give each author the opportunity to write a chapter regarding something that they've been through and they've overcame it to help someone else. You may have a woman who has lost her child. And you talk about domestic violence. Just 3 years ago, I think that, as a matter of fact, this month, Christmas Day, makes 3 years since my first cousin, lost her son to domestic violence. He was only 18 years old. So Christmas this month and Christmas it makes 3 years. So a lot of people are going through a just a whole lot right now. We've lost several people to domestic violence that I know of. Not necessarily in the family. It's just bad. It's really, really, really bad. You may have a woman like my aunt, she lost her husband after being married for over 40 years. She lost him to COVID a couple of years ago. So she may write a chapter regarding how did she overcome losing a husband, the only man she's known for over 40 years. One minute he's here and within a week he's gone. So, the title itself says it all, Women of Many Faces, just giving women the opportunity to express themselves to help others.
Wow. That's definitely amazing, and I'm definitely gonna that plug out there. So if anybody, any women are interested in being a part of that anthology, see, sometimes
Oh,
we don't realize why we are being delayed, but sometimes delay is good. And in this particular case,
yes,
you delaying that project just opened up the door for that woman that may have a story or may have a
yes,
message that she wants to
absolutely.
share inside of this book. So I definitely want to encourage her on tonight to join my sister in this anthology.
Yes,
Reach out, see how you can get involved, see how you can share your story. It's just a chapter. It does not have to be something long and drawn out. It can be 50 words, it can be 100 words. Just allow yourself to express, allow
exactly.
yourself to release. And I tell you, it's nothing like being able to connect with other women and that are a part of this project. Hopefully, not only will it just be an anthology, but it will be more than an anthology. I tell everybody there's a lot to be done around anthologies once that anthology's out. So I'm telling you, it's a conference. I'm just putting it out there. But
Hmm.
I appreciate you for stopping by.
Thank you. I
I,
appreciate you.
and I look forward to definitely being a part of that anthology and to
Oh,
working with you
absolutely. I'm excited.
in 2023. So I look forward to everything that God has in store for
Yeah.
all of us, especially the 122 author movement. I pray that your evening is blessed. And again, thank you for your sacrifice and stopping by on tonight.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You have a great evening.
You do likewise. Have a good night.
Thank you. I want to thank you guys for stopping by and sharing with us on tonight. I pray that your evening has been blessed. I pray that there is something that was shared on tonight that may have touched you. Definitely want you women, if you are out there and you have a message or you have something that you think that you might want to release, to allow it to go through this book, join this anthology. You can reach out and connect with Tracy Smalls and be a part of this anthology that's probably going to release sometime the end of February, the beginning of March. She's going to be back out sharing more information. But if you would like to get that information now, you can connect with her. Thank you for stopping by and sharing on tonight. I am the queen of collaboration, Angela Thomas. I am the founder of AALAC, the African American Author Literacy Awareness Campaign, and the CEO of Aspiring Authors Magazine, where my desire is to bridge the gap between brown authors all over this world and touch on topics that's affecting my brown community. So I thank you guys for jumping on and sharing with us on tonight. I'll be back tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have two more amazing authors that's going to be stopping by and sharing with us on tomorrow night. So please make sure that you tune in to the Queen. If you are an author and you are not attached to the platform, attached to the 122 author movement, go ahead and get attached. It's only $23.33 to join the movement. You get a chance to be interviewed right here on the podcast and featured on our blog. Y'all have a good night. I love you.